Welcome back to a chapter a day and happy Sabbath. It is a beautiful, cold, but sunny Sabbath morning. Okay, and today I'm going to be reading 2 chapters of Proverbs. I believe I can do so. Yeah, they're lengthy, but I think I can make that in. I pray you had a blessed week. I pray you had everything that you asked God for. And if you didn't, trust me, God is still working on the other things you haven't gotten yet. He knows what we need. And you know what? Even as we give gifts, sometimes our children don't really need it, but we just want to give it to them because they can use it. God does that too. So be looking. Be on the lookout. Okay. So let's get started with Proverbs 25. These are also Proverbs of Solomon, which the men of Hezekiah, king of Judah, copied out. So we know Solomon did a great portion, if not all, of the writing for Proverbs. It is the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out the matter. And I know there's a proverb that says, can anyone by searching find out God? We cannot figure God out by trying to Google it or sit down and look at the stars. We can see these things testify of God. But to know God, we have to spiritually connect with God. And we still won't know everything about God. Okay, verse 3. The heaven for height and the earth for depth, and the heart of kings is unsearchable. Take away the dross from the silver, and there shall come forth a vessel for the finer. Take away the wicked from before the king, and his throne shall be established in righteousness. Put not forth thyself in the presence of the king, and stand not in the place of great men. For better it is that it be said unto thee, come up hither, than that thou shouldest be put lower in the presence of the prince, whom thine eyes have seen. So I guess what they're trying to tell you, when you go before people of renown or you're invited to any place, don't try to sit in the most refined places or the highest places, you know. Try to go lower, that they'll bring you up, rather than you go high and they take you down. Which one is more uncomfortable? Okay, verse 8. Go not forth hastily to strive, lest thou know not what to do in the end thereof, when thy neighbor hath put thee to shame. I've seen that happen, and with me too. As a young person in school, I would take on other people's burdens. You know, they'd come to me and say, well, you know, so-and-so is having, not that I was any big, bulky person that people were afraid of, but, you know, I had a demeanor that might have been a bit intimidating, but I put myself in trouble for other people, and it wasn't worth it in the end. I took on their trouble, they walked away free, and I was held in a quandary. So I know this for a fact. Don't do that. Don't do that. Verse 9. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in pictures of silver. Isn't that beautiful? That's to tell you how important our words are. Verse 12, as an earring of gold and an ornament of fine gold, so is a wise reprover upon an obedient ear. As the cold of snow in the time of harvest, so is a faithful messenger to them that send him, for he refresheth the soul of his masters. Whoso boasteth himself of a false gift is like clouds and wind without rain. Oh boy. By long forbearing is a prince persuaded, and a soft tongue breaketh the bone. Hast thou found honey? Eat so much as is sufficient for thee, lest thou be filled therewith and vomit it. Withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. And I'd say this, my mother would always tell us, don't overstay your welcome. If you visit someone's house, know for how long you should stay. Don't overstay your welcome, because you will be shown, as we would say, bad face. People will sooner or later get tired of you, like they say, and just, you know, they would stop being very friendly towards you. So just know your limit and don't overstay your welcome. Verse 18. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a mole, and a sword, and a sharp arrow. Confidence in an unfaithful man in time of trouble is like a broken tooth and a foot out of joint. Yikes, both of those I know for sure. Not pretty. As he taketh, verse 20, as he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon nitre, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart. And I tell you truthfully, sometimes, they say when you feel sad, put on some music and it will help to relieve. I guess it depends on the sadness of your heart and the type of spirit that you have within you, Sometimes that doesn't work. That's what they say. Verse 21, if thine enemy be hungry, give him bread to eat. And if he be thirsty, give him water to drink. For thou shalt heap coals of fire upon his head, and the Lord shall reward thee. So don't do bad because someone else did bad to you. You do good to them, and God will take care of that person. In other words, okay? Verse 23, the north wind driveth away rain, so doth an angry countenance a backbiting tongue. This is a good thing for people who have friends or family who come to them with news about other people. The look on your face is going to know, it's going to either drive them away or encourage them. And I have seen that. I've done that. I set my face a certain way sometimes if I go outside, so no one is going to approach me with tail bearing, because I don't want to encourage that. I don't want that. Okay. Not that you have to be looking, like angry or anything for people to stay away, but just to know that, I'm not into that frivolous nonsense talking about people. Verse 24, it is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman in a white house. And that I always say is not just woman, a brawling man. That's applicable too. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country. Good news is always good. A righteous man falleth down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. It is not good to eat much honey, so for men to search their own glory is not glory. I guess there's really something to eating too much honey. I've never eaten too much honey. It's too thick and sweet. And verse 28, he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken and without walls. That means you need to control yourself. If you cannot control yourself, it's like they say, you're a city without walls. It's open for anything. Okay, that's the end of Proverbs chapter 25. I'm going straight into Proverbs chapter 26. As snow in summer and as rain in harvest, so honor is not seemly for a fool. As the bird by wandering, as the swallow by flying, so the curse causeless shall not come. A whip for the horse, a bridle for the ass, and a rod for the fool's back. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. I always try to think about these two verses and choose which one I need to follow when certain times arise and people say things to you and you want to respond. Yeah. Should I answer and make this person think, well, I'm just like them. I'm answering them back according to their own, to the contents of their foolishness? Or should I not answer and leave this person thinking, ooh, they pulled a good one on me, so they are wise? I know. I think one is pride and the other one is not. But anyway, we have to choose. Verse 6, he that sendeth a message by the hand of a fool cutteth off the feet and drinketh damage. Well, the legs of the lame are not equal, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. As he that bindeth a stone in a sling, so is he that giveth honor to a fool. As a thorn goeth up into the hand of a drunkard, so is a parable in the mouth of fools. The great God that formed all things both rewardeth the fool and rewardeth transgressors. As a dog returneth to his vomit, so a fool returneth to his folly. Gross. Verse 12, seest thou a man wise in his own conceit? There is more hope of a fool than of him. Oh boy. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. As the door turneth upon his hinges, so doth the slothful upon his bed. The slothful hideth his hand in his bosom, it grieveth him to bring it again to his mouth. The sluggard is wiser in his own conceit than 7 men that can render a reason. He that passeth by and meddleth with strife, belonging not to him, is like one that taketh a dog by the ears. This I have seen and this I have experienced. Do not take on somebody else's trouble. I was just giving that example when I was in school. I was foolish, yeah. When you pass by and you hear there's controversy, I know maybe if there is a way that maybe you can help to quell it, but don't join into it without knowing what's happening, because you know what they say, it's like taking a dog by the ears. That dog will bite you right in the face. Verse 18, as a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, am I not in sport? Have people done that to you? Done silly things or said silly things? I'm just joking, I'm just joking. Please don't do that to others, and don't let other people do that, because it's so deceitful. Sometimes people really want to say some things to you or do some things to you, and you allow it to pass as a joke. I have seen that and experienced that in my life, and I always thought that was really, sometimes they go so far with the thing and make you feel like it's something real, and then say, I'm only joking, I'm only joking. Oh, stop. It's silly. Verse 20, where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases, for sure. Verse 21, as coals are to burning coals and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Mercy. When someone is accustomed to saying falsehoods, it's very hard to believe them. Very hard. Verse 26. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. That means sooner or later, people will find you out for who you really are. Verse 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. That means don't set snares for other people. Don't try to trap other people. And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Same thing. Verse 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattereth mouth worketh ruin. What it is they say, there's a saying I grew up hearing, lying lips sink ships. And more than that. So, beautiful sayings, beautiful words, wonderful words of wisdom coming from Solomon, one of the wisest men that God blessed with wisdom. All about being foolish, about being contentious, just simple things that we ought to live by as people who are supposed to be honoring God. And that's the end. We read 2 chapters today, 25 and 26. We are nearing the end. I believe by next week, the end of the month, I should be finished. I look forward to that. Thank you all again for listening. And once again, remember, keep on, because that's how our faith comes and grows. Take care.